So, good morning. It's June 5th. It's about quarter after 8 in the morning. And up until a few minutes ago, I was sitting there on the porch. Well, I came out with a cup of tea and put the little table down in my chair. And of course, it didn't take Lucy long, and about 30 seconds to come over with her ball. And my little Tibetan prayer flags above the door there, and of course the dinner bell. That's where I was sitting this morning when Lucy came over with her ball, and now there's Lucy waiting expectantly, wondering what I'm going to do next. And I'm going to take you on a little tour of the farm. So there's Dawn's place with a little cart in the front. And I'll back up here and you can see my little cottage there, and we'll take a walk up to the chicken house. You want to go see the chickens, Lucy? Okay, here's Lucy waiting for the ball, so I don't want to disappoint her. So she's pretty good at catching. Let's see. Oops, she didn't get that one. So this is Dawn's routine every morning. He goes now in his cart up to the chicken house, first to feed the chickens, then I'll let him out at about 2 in the afternoon. There's Lucy. Here you go, Lucy. Okay, here we go. And here we have the cedar grove. Let me tell you, I'll show you what this looks like. There's some wood, which we'll never get to use, and these beautiful cedar trees. I thought this would be a great place to make a tree house. Look at these. You can't really get an idea of the size of the base of these things. Probably, at least 5 feet in diameter. And over here, a little picnic table that we never use, but it's a nice little place on our very rare hot days to come and have a picnic. And here, nestled back in the woods, guess what that is? Yeah, that's an outhouse that Chet uses and Chris does sometimes. So now, back here, nestled in the trees at the back of the property, the back corner of the property, it's what I call the Cuartito. And it's a little place that was made, I don't know, years ago, that occasionally guests will stay at. And it's just kind of tucked away here in the woods, and all it is, you can see the door and it's kind of like that. And inside, just a bed and a little wash basin. And Don's really into these little. He's got these scattered all over his place, little animals and little wooden things. So here's the chicken house, but I bet you if we go around there, you probably won't see any chickens because they're inside now, because a couple of them are nesting. I might as well feed them while I'm up here, so I'll do this here. And put it in this one here. And there they are, kind of waiting expectantly. There, the rooster and a couple of hens. So I'm standing just outside the chicken house now. We used to have about, I think, 12 hens at one point. And one by one, I guess it's mostly the hawks, start picking them off because we were letting them out in the morning. So Dawn decided to keep them inside until about 2 in the afternoon, which cuts down the chances of them disappearing. And so from about 12 hens, now we're down to 3. And so Dawn finally is letting the hens sit on some eggs. So hopefully in maybe about 2.5 more weeks or something like that, we'll have little chickies around here I can show you. Okay, it's now about 15 minutes later. Let's take a look inside. Let's see if this shows up on video here. I think you can see him over here on the nest.
What's happening is that one remaining chicken is...
Rooster's back up here watching over things. This is an insert shot a little bit later. One of the shots I took inside the hen house of the hens laying didn't turn out, so I had to go back up there and take a makeup shot. On my way up there, Dawn by this time was in his cart doing his morning routine with the dog, so I filmed that.
There she goes. Daisy, give me the ball. Lucy, give me the ball. Lucy. Okay, Daisy.
Here's a view of the garden. There's a tomato house there. And I'll just give you a general pan of the upper pasture here. Geez, I love these trees. Fowler planted, I don't know how many varieties of deciduous and mostly evergreen trees from all over the world here, a century and a half ago. And I just love sometimes just sitting out in the orchard looking at all these trees. Okay, a tour of the garden. Here is the winter squash, a little early for winter squash, and I try to get them in early every year so they got, because the squash get a lot bigger because they have more time to grow before it gets cooler. And here's the first batch starting to sprout here, and then the second batch I've got going. I'll just put in a few more here later. And over here are the snap peas, and here are the potato plants. I tell you, that's the easiest thing to grow are potatoes. And the last batch we had lasted, the entire winter. And here I'm going to plant a purple variety a little bit later. And here's some grapevine that Don got. It hasn't really taken off. It doesn't like this climate that much. The strawberries, they had two varieties. This group down here was just about finished. They were overgrown by weeds and I had to dig them all up, replant them. And now you can see that they're really going good. So these are called everbearing. They have the sweetest berries I have ever tasted. A little bit smaller than regular berries, but they bear twice a season. Oops, what's this going on over here? Oh, geez. Oh my gosh, that looks like the Americanum distria, the forest tent caterpillar. That's just off the top of my head. Are you kidding? Isn't the internet wonderful? And over here, I recently planted some artichokes, and amidst the artichokes, I don't know if you can see, there's asparagus growing, because there used to be asparagus root in here. And there's a little asparagus there, and here's some more over here. Well, golly gee, oh wow, there was so much more I had to show you, but we're out of time. So I'm just going to have to save the rest for a next episode. So bye from Fowler's Corner, see you next time.